For this project, Lifetime Arts delivered live training and online programming resources to the various New York City creative aging stakeholders with a special focus on Sukasa. Our aim was to help align the city's creative aging program with national best practices. Programs are student-centered, sequential, and participatory. They're led by professional teaching artists. They build art-making skills, and they culminate in a sharing event. Over the course of 2 years, we delivered 30 free live training workshops across the 5 boroughs for over 500 senior center staff, arts organizations, and teaching artists. The curriculum topics included experiential explorations of ageism, the importance of community partnerships and how to develop them, finding and hiring a teaching artist, curriculum design for older adults, promoting and recruiting students, designing an impactful culminating event. The project confirmed for us what we've known all along, and this is something that's been mentioned today, and that is that New York City, my hometown, has all of the makings in its senior center staffing, its teaching artists and arts organizations, in its government and philanthropic sectors. It has everything it needs to be the national leader in the field and a model for the country. Creative aging work demands cross-sector and multi-level collaboration. While Lifetime Arts focused on supporting the practitioners through training, the City Council and city agencies worked together. DCLA promoted the training opportunities to eligible arts organizations, and then through the Borough Arts Councils to the city's teaching artists. And DIFTA, in turn, promoted the training opportunities to senior centers. So why do we do this training? All of this work starts with the acknowledgement that ageism is pervasive in our culture. Embracing older adults as learners and creators is a new challenge for individuals and for institutions across sectors. So we train people how to do this work, not just teaching artists, but programming and administrative staff of host organizations, policymakers, and funders. And we seed programs to demonstrate what the work looks like. And then we tell the story of the impact by building peer networks, documenting, evaluating, and sharing the information. So professional teaching artists, as Ed said earlier, they form the basic workforce for creative aging programming. Most of these artists hail from the K-12 arts education field. They're generally adept at designing skill-based, scaffolded curriculum, but they need significant training in adult learning, navigating the senior service sector, understanding the impact of ageism on program design and delivery, and importantly, embedding intentional social engagement activities into each lesson. Training and mentoring opportunities are crucial. For non-arts creative aging stakeholders, such as senior centers and public libraries, creative aging proposes a new programming approach. These organizations have little experience working with teaching artists or supporting sequential learning programs. Understanding the role, the teaching artists, and how to find and engage them is one of the biggest challenges to implementing this kind of work. We actually had to develop a payment and contract protocol for the New York Public Library because they did not have a mechanism to pay an individual teaching artist. So we actually worked with them over several months to develop how you can contract with and pay in a fair and timely manner for individual teaching artists. So creative aging is not just a programming model. It's a movement that is gaining momentum. It's helping to shift long-held ideas about aging from negative to positive, from a deficits-based identity to an assets-based one. Sustaining this new type of programming is not just about finding the money to pay for it. In the case of creative aging, a big part of the work is about changing organizational and societal culture, and requires re-examining and realigning not only of funding, but staffing and programming resources. And I just want to mention, while we're talking about the importance of creative aging, that we want to honor here today Susan Pearlstein, who is with us. And Susan Pearlstein started all of this stuff a long time ago. Susan started Elders Share the Arts in Brooklyn in, I think, 1979. And then she went on to establish the National Center for Creative Aging in Washington, D.C. So thank you, Susan. Again, creative aging is cross-sector, is creative aging work is cross-sector by nature because older adults are part of every segment of society. Public library systems, arts organizations, regional arts councils, adult care communities, city, county, and state governments, individual artists, national and local foundations, and service organizations all are partners. Its impact is being felt across the country, with major national players entering into partnerships to promote creative aging. Recent and powerful current partnerships include work with the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies, the American Alliance of Museums, the Institute for Museum and Library Services, the National Association of Area Agencies on Aging, which is always hard to say. Multiple state libraries are now investing in and exploring opportunities for professional development for senior service librarians. Most public library work is geared towards early literacy and childhood programs. So there's an effort underway now nationally and through state libraries to actually address this deficit. And in our own New York City, the National Guild for Community Arts Education is a major player in this. Jonathan Herman is here today as well, and we thank them for their partnership. And we have some interesting news here in New York State. For the first time, two state agencies, the New York State Council on the Arts and the New York State Office for the Aging, have pooled their resources to advance creative aging in three regions of New York State. A year-long program of trainings for teaching artists in senior centers and library staff is just getting underway on Long Island, in the Capital Region, and in the North Country, which is on the Canadian border. A competitive grant program will fund 24 new creative aging programs in 12 organizations in those regions. This is great news, and again, a New York-initiated model for the country. So, we feel very good about this work and excited for you all to be here and share it with us. Thank you.